Yeah, don't touch your face. Anyhow, here I am, and I got a changed face. Used to be, if you knew me for a while, you'd be able to see me. I looked like this a lot of the time. Well, went and had my eyes fixed. Those are trifocal lenses. They give you this part of the lens. Well, here. So this part of the lens up here at the top for distance. This part of the lens is for mid-range, like working on a computer. This part of the lens is for reading. So you got everything you need there. And they work pretty good, but I got tired of in the morning reaching for, where's my glasses to be able to see anything. And when I watch TV at night, I'd watch without glasses because my eyes are pretty good for distance, and the distance to the TV was all right. And so I'd be able to see everything there, and then I'd reach for the remote, and of course, the remote controls have all those little tiny letters on them. They're small like that or smaller, and maybe I'll get that. Stand by. I'll just get it. And as you well know, every house has got about 100 different remotes. And so this remote here, I can see it, like used to be I couldn't read that, but now I can read every letter on there. That remote there used to be, couldn't read that. Now I can see every letter on there. So I went over to Lasik, and I had what do they call that? An evaluation by Lasik. And they decided that, yep, sure, indeed, we can fix your eyes. It'll cost quite a bit of money, but they did offer to fix my eyes. And the eye surgery that I had to have, like they have this laser surgery, and that's for on the outside of I guess it's the cornea. Is it the cornea? I don't know what the name is. Of your eye, they can do that to stretch things out, or in the back of it, they can change things with lasers. But in my case, it was the lens in the middle of my eye that was going bad. It just wasn't focusing anymore. I guess at age, everything gets less elastic as it was when I was a young man. So they said they could change the lenses, and what they've done, they've taken and put in trifocal lenses inside my eye, and so the effect is the same as having these progressive trifocal lenses, except that I don't have to put glasses on, and I can read. I can read all sorts of stuff. Like used to be I'd go to the grocery store, and there's a list from the grocery store, and boy, I had an awful lot of trouble reading any of that stuff. But now I can read it all, no trouble, even the very small print. So here's the story. Go over there, get evaluated, then they get you to come back in about a month, and you sign up for yes sir, I'll do it all. And so I was evaluated. I went and then went for my appointment. My appointment was on February 19th of 2020. And they said, they being Lasik, said, you got to bring a driver with you because after you were done with your surgery, you certainly won't be able to see well enough to drive. And they were certainly right. So what happens, you get there in the morning, and my appointment was for about noon time, or 12:45, something like that. And my daughter, Sarah, she drove me over very kindly, and then dropped me off, and away she went to do a shop at Costco. Closest Costco to PEI is in Moncton, so she went to do her shopping at Costco whilst I was out getting this surgery done. So they take me into the room out front, and the very first thing they do is they put a couple of eye drops in your eyes to start freezing your eyes. And then the very next thing that happens is they get your money from you before such time as you've decided that, before you get any sort of drugs into you that might make it so that, you aren't signing signing the papers of sound mind and all that kind of stuff. So they got that done. I signed off all the papers, says, yep, I can do it, and I understand it's all my fault if everything goes wrong. But it isn't really. They've got a pretty nice guarantee. They look after their customers pretty well, I think. Next thing happens, the girl is, she's, put some more eye drops in my eyes to start more freezing. Then she said, we've got a pill you can take. It's for anxiety and, like a Valium or something like that. It wasn't a Valium, but that similar type of drug. And I'm a pretty calm guy, so I just said to her, I don't think I need it. And she didn't seem to argue with that. So away I go back to the back room. And they sit you in a comfortable chair in the back of the clinic, in the back of the office, which is the surgery clinic. Next thing happens, you go into the room where they're doing the surgery, and well, I guess the lady before me came out first. And it's about a 15-minute wait because they give you time, if you've taken the pill, you give you time to for the pill to take effect. Lady before me comes out, and she talked to me and seemed to be all right. So I figured, well, it must be safe to go. And away I go into the surgery suite. And in there, there's at the very first room, there's an eye testing device like you see at all the doctor's offices, with all the clickety-clack stuff on it. And the actual surgeon, he has a look at my eyes, and he goes, and of course more freezing stuff goes into your eyes. It's a fairly gradual process, this freezing stuff. And then, but he goes and excuse me, he goes and looks at all my eyes and checks things out, and then he takes a magic marker out of his pocket, a fine tip magic marker, must be special for marking on eyes, and puts a couple of lines on each of my eyes so that he knows where he's going to, when he's looking later, he knows where he's going to be digging at. And that then into the surgery suite you go, and they lay you down on the bed. The bed is just a normal surgery bed. It's got a thing to go on, little pad to go underneath your knees and keep your knees up in the air so you don't slide back and forth. And then you lay your head into this sort of a pillow device that holds it pretty steady. They then take a surgical cloth or a surgical, those paper things they use for surgery. They put it right over your face and then peel back this eye here, which is the one they started on. Excuse me. After they peel back that eye that you started on, then they pull down up above. It's like a dentist office, and they pull down the light from above and shine it right into your eye. And the surgeon tells you, it says, just focus on that light there. And the light's got you can see 3 elements in it when you're watching it from down below, or at least I saw 3 elements. Did I tell you? I told you that they peeled back the one side. Yeah, okay. So then next thing happens is more freezing, and give it a minute or so of staring at this light, and then they start working away. And the doctor said that, he kind of walks you through it, and he says what's going on, but he doesn't tell you that he's digging away in there. But you see these little flashes of silver light, flashes of silver, and that's their instruments in there when he's taking out your old lens. And this process seems to take forever and ever, because it's like if you think about when you're driving somewhere, if you drive somewhere where you've never been before, and it's like somewhere out in the country, and it takes seemingly forever to get there. But then when you get there and you spend a bit of time, then you drive home. When you're driving home, it just feels like, whoa, I'm home already. And the reason for that is that all the landmarks to look for along the way that are closer to home, and here I'm home, sort of thing. So first eye, you have no idea what's happening. And about halfway through the procedure on the first eye, I'm there, kind of with my arms up here laying down, and I said to myself, should have taken the pill. But too late now. So on I went to you're watching the light, the bright light up above. You watch that and you watch that and you watch that, and all of a sudden it all goes very blurry. And I'm pretty sure that's when he's taking out your old lens, which is just a little tiny thing. But the old lens comes out. Then about a minute and a half later, the light up here comes back into focus. You can see the 3 elements once again. And so I figured, well, that must have been when the new lens went in, which is a plastic or a glass lens that they've had manufactured for my eyes, for my particular vision. So then you feel this, like they flush a lot of water, and you feel water going down the side of your face. I don't know how much it is, but it's lots of fluid that sort of goes down beside your face. They seem to catch it all because you're not wet or anything later. Now this in my mind was taking hours and hours, an eternity to get done. And then all of a sudden, never done. And so I was laying there in between. There's about a 5-minute break in between this eye and this eye. And they go and they re-sterilize all their equipment and then get set up for the second eye. And meantime, I was getting pretty cold because it's cold inside those surgery rooms. And so I asked them very kindly if they could get me a blanket to warm me up. And yes, indeed, they could. So put a couple of blankets on me. Now, the one thing I was worried about was, holy boy, if I ever start shivering or sneezing or something and he's got those instruments in my eyes, that's going to be trouble. But never happened, so that was okay. Now, the second eye, same procedure. He started again and focused on the lights above. But this second eye just seemed to take about no time at all. All of a sudden, it was all done. Everything was done, and they were completed. And that's the same thing. Like the second eye, you seem to know what's going to go, what the milestones are. And all of a sudden, it just doesn't take very long at all. So I was quite happy to have it all over with. Then they help you get up off the table, and you walk out to, they walk you out to the waiting room again. And you have to sit there for 15 or 20 minutes just to make sure that everything is going to be okay. And they offer to bring you a cup of coffee or whatever you want to have. And so I got them to bring me a cup of coffee, but all of my vision was completely blurred. It was like as if I could see, if I was swimming in murky water. So, you know, you couldn't, it was just blurry and brown-ish is my memory of it. But things were starting to improve. Immediately they were starting to improve, and I could see a little bit, but not enough to go anywhere. They brought me the cup of coffee, and I had to, you know, work on that by Braille. I had, you know, I was pretty smart. I brought my telephone with me, so that, you know, in between times I could do something on the phone or whatever I wanted to do, and couldn't see. Wasn't a chance. No idea. No chance of seeing the phone. No chance of seeing anything like that. Then Sarah came along. Shortly afterwards, she found a parking spot right out front of the clinic and was waiting out there. And the girls from the clinic went out and, you know, gave her a wave and said, "Yeah, Dad's ready now." So she came in, took me by the arm, and we get out to the outside. It was pretty cold out that day, and like middle February in Moncton. So there was a snowbank, you know, back this high beside the road, between the sidewalk and the road. And she said to me, "Dad, there's a snowbank there. You'll have to climb over that." And I could see in the blur of my vision, I could see, yeah, there's a snowbank there, a blurry snowbank. I could tell what it was after she had told me, and I could see the blur of the car over there where I was aiming for. So away I go, and she helped me up over the snowbank, but she neglected to tell me that on the other side of the snowbank there was a puddle the size of Lake Ontario there, what I proceeded to step right into. And so, yeah, had to tell Sarah, "Yeah, Sarah, you got to tell me everything that's down there." "Oh, sorry, Dad." So that was okay. Got along the car, felt my Braille along the edge of the car, got into the car, and away we went to the hotel. In the hotel, she parked me in the lobby, and I would just sort of stand beside a post there waiting, because here I am standing there after you're leaving the clinic. They give you these glasses so they can look like Arnold Schwarzenegger when you go anywhere. And they actually cut out all the light, or cut out a lot of the light, so your eyes aren't going to get strained or hurt or whatever it takes. Nowadays, I don't have to wear them so much, but on a bright sunny day, I wear them on the outside. And if I'm driving on a bright sunny day, I have them in the car with me. If I need them, I put them on. Now, so then after we get our room set up, and then decide it's time to go to get a little bit of late lunch. So we go to the restaurant about a block and a half away. And as I mentioned before, a pretty cold day out. And we decided we'd just walk down there. And so this time Sarah had it figured out. Yep, there was those places where wheelchairs go down off the sidewalk onto the street to get across the intersection. one of those, but it had a big puddle at the bottom of it. So Sarah said, you know, Dad, there's a wheelchair thing here, but it's got a big puddle there, so I'll just take you off the curb over here where there's no puddle. But then when you go out from the curb, all of a sudden your foot doesn't know to go down, and it searches and searches and searches and feels like forever. Finally, it hit the ground with a thump. I didn't fall over, made it to the restaurant, ordered something that I could eat with my hands because I didn't think I could work with a knife and fork at that point. And things went well. Back to the hotel room, you know, eye drops for, well, it's been eye drops for 4 weeks now. And this is the last day today that I have to do eye drops. And now, spent the night at the hotel, make a trip to the clinic in the morning to get a check on to make sure everything is okay. And yeah, it certainly is. Everything is fine. And set up an appointment for about, what was it, 3 weeks away or something like that, and worked out all quite well. Came home, and it's been 4 weeks now since the surgery, and it's pretty good. I can see, like I said before, I can read all the numbers on that without any trouble. I can see without the glasses. I can you know, work on everything. All the remotes in the house, I can read every number on them. I can see. Used to be I could drive without glasses, but I wouldn't be able to. The dashboard area was kind of blurry, and now I can read. Like the radio in the car has there's a byline underneath it that tells you who's playing what song, and I'd never be able to read that before, but now I can read that, and it's actually pretty good. So yes, I would recommend it. It's pretty nice to be not having any glasses, and the byproduct of it is that it's the same kind of surgery that they use for cataracts. So they tell me I'd never have to worry about cataracts in my whole life. So there you go. That's my story for today. Bye bye for now.